Hi guys, welcome back. So as promised today, I'm going to go over how to make the more fitted masks. Mine is currently outside because I went to the vet today, so I wore it so I could stop by the gas station in a couple places. But it's this kind. Nice little double reflection going on there. So it's the one that has a dart for the nose and the chin. This doesn't actually fit in that. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to take a coffee filter, one of the triangle kind, and you're kind of going to measure the mask on your face because these are like perfect for this. So you can see that mine is already kind of folded and stuff. But if you take it and put it on your face, you can see how it kind of fits to it. So then you just fold over between your nose and your chin to where it fits nice like a mask should. And then I also folded this corner where my chin goes. So I had it backwards compared to I had it before, but so see with those folds, it fits a lot nicer on the face. So that's going to be the pattern for our mask today. So then you take your filter fabric. Just like yesterday, I am using these multi-purpose cloths from the dollar store. This time, so I don't make the video too awful long, I'm going to put everything I use down in the description. I'm also going to do a breakdown of prices down there. So you take your fabric and you're going to fold it in half. So you can just lay this on top of here. So what I did is kind of line up this nose piece on the fabric. Actually, no, okay. So I actually did it this way because then it fits a little bit better. But you want to move it up a little bit because that's why my first mask went so high up here, was that I centered this. So there was all this extra. Whereas if you move it up, then that fits a little bit better. So I'm just going to take a random marker and mark where we're going to be putting those darts in. And I'm also going to mark the edge here. So it should look like this. So now we want to cut this out. And I could have done a little bit better on centering this before. Centering my fold, I should say. Now, this fabric, if you cut too much at once, like for multiple masks and stuff, it'll start to unravel. So that's why I kind of cut everything as I go. So now you should have a shape like this. So this really starts our template, because what we're going to do is sew these together and sew this together, and you can see it's more of the mask shape. But before I do that, I'm going to do the same thing on this. So I'm going to just fold this in half and then half again, I'm going to use the same template. And I'm going to cut it the same way. But I have to keep in mind that I want it this way, because that's how the mask is going to go over my face, because there's one side of these rags that's bigger than the other. And then fold it that way, because then this should give us that mirrored image that we need. So this one, because the fabric is a little bigger and it goes over, you can fit more of the filter on here. You're not going to worry about the sides so much, but you're still going to make these marks. I should have used a darker marker. Kind of hard to see pink on red fabric. So there's that there. You can just barely see where I made my marks. And I'm going to cut those out. So real quick before I go on, I'm going to go ahead and just cut off the seam edges here like I did on the other one. If you haven't seen that video, you can check it out or just watch this one. I also might redo that video because it was kind of long and I made mistakes. So no one wants to watch a half-hour video to see someone make a mask the wrong way. Especially if you follow along without it. Okay, so now we have a similar shaped piece of fabric for our red fabric. And if we put that down, go ahead and put this in. You can see it doesn't quite match up. But that's fine. You can see it's a little bit off because I didn't follow my line when I was cutting the red fabric. So I overcut. But you can kind of adjust the fabric a little bit. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just have it nice and sandwiched like that. Kind of make sure that the white is covered as much as possible. And I'm going to put a couple pins in. Like so. And again, I'm going to kind of manipulate the fabric just enough to where I have that nice clean edge. Okay, so you can see that's a lot cleaner than it was. Put in a couple of pins. And there we go. We have the basic shape for our mask. You can see that it's a lot more done in. So the reason it looks a little bit different is on my first mask, I sewed each of these layers separately, but that actually made it kind of difficult on me. So I'm just going to go ahead and sew it like this. Now, I think the other way did turn out a little bit better. So you can... See, I keep changing the way that I want to do these. And then realizing I should have just done it the original way that I did it. So I think it's probably better to... And it looks cleaner to just sew the pieces individually and then sew the filter into the mask. And, you know, I say filter obviously because I don't have, you know, actual filters to put in. But this fabric does work quite well. Not that I'm a medical professional, because I am not. But I can say that I have taken a mister to one of the masks. Actually, both of the types of masks I've made, I've taken a mister to. And you can, the mist doesn't go through the mask. In fact, it's not even usually damp on the other side, which is a pretty good sign that everything is okay. Now, on that, I kind of didn't leave myself enough room, so what I'm going to do is leave a little bit bigger tail than I usually would. Because we kind of have to make the knot with the new piece of thread, which isn't something you usually do. I'm sure all of you guys are happy just seeing me knot thread and stuff. Cut off the tail. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go right where I was trying to tie that knot but couldn't. Go right through there. Move the thread over to one side. And keep going. Sometimes I would take my thread, and you probably can't see this too well, and I'm gonna go on the other side of that little tail from last time. And I'm gonna pick up just that thread and like a single thread of the fabric below it. I'm gonna go under it and then through, and that creates a nice knot to make sure that stays there. But I'm not finished, so I'm gonna keep sewing after putting that knot in. Winnie really wants to get in this video. Okay, and I'm going to continue doing this. I'm going to turn off the video for a minute so you guys aren't just sitting here watching me do the same exact thing. Sitting here actually watching me sew everything. If I had video editing done, I would just leave all this in and fast forward through it so you can see that I'm actually sitting here doing it. But so I've got the short part done.